All right, shalom, shalom everyone. We're so glad that you have joined us tonight for this very, very special live broadcast. This is the big night for the mobile outreach reveal. We want to be able to show you what your prayers and your belief and your obedience to Abba Yah's voice has produced. As many of you know, back in the spring of this year, during the heart of the pandemic, I believe I heard from the Father that He wanted a witness to this nation, that He wanted us to go from state to state and preach the good news of Yeshua and His Torah lifestyle, to preach Teshuvah, returning to the Master in obedience, and to be a witness that the time is short and people need to be serious about their spiritual condition and believe upon the name of the only one who can save, and that is Yeshua. And what we feel like the Spirit has spoken to us is that we are to go from state to state in a mobile RV, what I call a preaching machine, that is just completely customized with audio equipment and video equipment so that we can pull up into an RV park. I tell you, Brandon, there's a lot of people who are getting involved in the RV culture. And to go into the park and to set up our platform and put out our audio equipment and our video equipment and preach this good news of Yeshua and the Torah lifestyle. In other words, a justification through belief that leads to obedience. And to be a witness to this nation, to blast the shofar, to cry aloud and spare not, as the prophet said, and to lift up our voice like a mighty shofar blast. We believe because of COVID-19, people have seen the death and the fear and the anxiety and the fear-mongering and all that's going on. And there have been a number of people, sadly, who have lost loved ones and others who were afflicted with this disease. And then on the wings of that, we had all the rioting in our cities. And the cities were burning, and there were violence, and there was murder. And we believe that we have a short window of time to take advantage of this period where people's hearts have been tenderized because of these events, and to preach the truth in love, to preach the uncompromised message of Yeshua, and that through belief in Him, a person can receive the indwelling, set-apart Spirit of Yah, to be transformed, to have the Torah placed in their minds and written upon their hearts, to empower them to have a belief that leads to obedience. As we say often, Brandon, that the Spirit of Yah will give a person the want to and the power to be obedient. Well, we shared this vision with you, and we had a number of live broadcasts where we communicated with you that Yah wants a witness in the United States and up in Canada. And we asked you to pray, and many of you began to pray. And we believe that many of you prayed seriously, and you've continued to pray with us. And as people began to pray, the Father began to speak. And then people began to obey. And as they obeyed, the resources started to come in. And we talked about having an RV that we had picked out. Matter of fact, it wasn't too long ago, we went up to Kansas and we brought it back down to Texas. Yeah. And it was going to cost around $97,000. But we know nothing is too hard for Elohim. And when Elohim's people pray and then they obey, all things are possible. And you know, all the money came in for the purchase of the RV. And we were able to purchase the RV. And now we have been praying about and talking about and believing for $40,000 for the audio equipment and the video equipment. And you know, Brandon, I think we have about what, $30,000 that have come in. So that's almost all of it. And we're so thankful to Yah for his goodness. We're so thankful that he's spoken to your hearts. Many of you have prayed and many of you have obeyed, and the resources continue to come in. And we are right on the verge of starting the planning in the different states that we're going to go to. And it's so very exciting. As a matter of fact, Brandon, this past Shabbat, we brought the RV to our gathering, and it was really exciting. I came driving in the RV, and the whole congregation was standing out on the street. And what a joyful time it was, because they were able to see with their own eyes a dream that started in the Father's heart coming to pass. And that's what's so exciting about being a child of Elohim, that we're operating in a supernatural dimension. And when we hear the Father's voice and then we act in belief, I believe a lot of people have heard things, but then they were too afraid to act. Or maybe they were limiting Elohim by not having the kind of belief that's important, But you have heard, and many of you have acted, and our local congregation here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area has acted, and now we're seeing the dream come to pass. And tonight is all about showing you the very thing that your prayers and belief and obedience has helped bring to pass. We're excited. Brandon, what's on your mind tonight? What's on your heart?
It's exciting, and it was exciting, seeing you drive up in the RV on Shabbat, and being able to see the thing that we've been laboring for and praying for, and just seeing just how much closer we are to seeing that vision fulfilled, and how much closer we are to being on the road and being able to preach this message, all across the United States. And, I'm just grateful for the fact that everybody out there who have joined us tonight and who have joined us in the past have really taken ownership of this vision as well.
That's right.
And, I can't tell you how many people reach out, in communication through email or even on the phone, and they're asking, where are we at? How close are we? And so, the people out there, I know that you're excited about what's going on. And it really excites me seeing you, who we've never met,
right,
get excited and take ownership and get involved and say, we want to help you accomplish this and make this happen. And that really what speaks to my heart. So,
well, you're so right, Brandon, that we have received many emails and lots of comments on social media platforms of people who are wanting to know, how is the vision developing? And it's been a wonderful thing to see people believing Yah and believing in this vision and wanting to be a part of it at whatever level they can participate on.
Yeah.
I know that there are many people who have prayed seriously, and that was the level that they could participate on. Prayer is of utmost importance. It is the most important thing, that we pray and engage with Abba Yah and hear his voice. And there are also many who have obeyed in the sense of supporting financially. Mm-hmm. And it's wonderful to have, the great checks, the big numbers and all of that. And there have been plenty of checks that were large. But I tell you, every time I see a check from a widow or a retired person or a young person, it might be $25, it might be $50, whatever it might be. I think about that person and how Yah spoke to that person. And they wanted to be a part of this. And that represents their gift, their sacrifice, their involvement in this ministry. And I tell you, I pray often You know, when I go to the post office box to get the mail, I always bless the Father, even before I open up the box. I bless him for all the people who love him and love this vision and love this ministry and who want to be a part, whether it's a note, a handwritten note that somebody sends just saying, we love what you're doing, we are praying for you, or whether it's a card or whether it's a check. I'm just so very grateful to the Father that he has his children across this country and around the world who he speaks to, and they are wanting to not only be obedient, that's the important thing, but to participate in something, to be involved in something, a family that's doing a significant work and will continue to do a significant work. You know, when people support this ministry, it's not just for the RV or the audio equipment or the video equipment or the platforming. Yeah. It's to allow us to come through these cameras every week. And that's also part of this vision.
Yeah.
That we're not just putting out teaching once a month or once a quarter or whatever it might be, but we come every week because we've been called to, in a wonderful way, shepherd Abba Yah's flock, not only in this country, but worldwide. So we come every week. We come with our home worship video resource. We want to be a blessing to you wherever you are in the world. And we know that what we see is that somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 usually views on that home worship video resource, which represents in a lot of ways many people who are in that living room, whether it be a family or whether it be a group. And then, of course, as anyone who follows closely knows, the teachings are producing tens of thousands of views.
Yes.
As you mentioned just recently, the teaching that we put out, as in the days of Noah, within a couple of weeks or a few weeks, has produced over 100,000 views. Yeah. So that's not anything about us. That's all about him. That's all about the message that he has given and the message that you are a part of and you are supporting. Brandon, we produced a short video today of the RV because we wanted to be able to show the Triumph and Truth family, and of course our family is extended worldwide. We wanted you to be able to see what your prayers and your belief and your obedience has produced. And so we just have a short video, and we want to take a moment right now and just play that video for you so that you can set your eyes on a dream that started in Yah's heart that is coming to pass in the very days that we are living in. Let's watch that video. Shalom, shalom, everyone. What an exciting day this is. I wanted to take a moment and just send you this video and show you what belief and prayer and obedience to Yah can produce. You know, back in the spring of this year, in the heart of the pandemic of COVID-19, I believe I heard from the Father that I was to be a witness in every state of this country and up in Canada of Yeshua and his Torah lifestyle of a justification that produces obedience. And the mechanism that we were going to use is the RV culture, because there's so many people who are getting into the RV culture these days. And we believed for an RV that would transport us from state to state until we reached every state in the United States of America. And then we're going to get up into Canada as well and preach this good news message, this message that has impacted you in such a powerful and wonderful way. And I wanted you to be the first to see this beautiful mobile preaching machine that Abba Yah has given us because of your obedience and because of your giving. And so you're getting to see it today. This is a big reveal, and we want you to see this wonderful, wonderful vehicle that Abba Yah has given us through your obedience. And so what we plan to do is equip it with video equipment and with audio equipment. And we plan to drive up into these RV camps and set up shop and put out the audio equipment and put out the staging and put out the video equipment and preach this message and be a witness in every state in this country, because I believe that the time is short and this nation needs a witness of Yeshua and his obedient lifestyle. And so that's what we plan to do. I'm going to have the person that's holding the camera just kind of give you an overview of what this vehicle looks like. We're really excited that you've joined us today by video. And this is what your belief and your prayers and your giving has produced. We are currently also believing for the resources necessary for the audio equipment and for the video equipment. And since we mentioned that to you a few weeks ago, we have probably 3/4 of the money that we needed has already come in. And so we praise Yah for that, and we thank him for your obedience. And we're just so excited. We wanted to have this moment with you because you're the ones who love us and love this ministry. You are the ones who are supporting us week in and week out and making it happen through your belief and your prayers and your giving. So it's a beautiful vehicle. We're very excited. We're getting ready. We're on our way. And it won't be long before we are coming into your area and into your state. And if you want to help us put together these meetings there in your state, then you send us an email at info@triumphantruth.global, and we will get in touch with you, and you can be a great part of this witness coming into your state. So again, praise Abiyah for this wonderful day and for this vehicle that your belief and your obedience has produced. And we love you, and we thank you, and we'll see you again real soon.
Well, we hope that that video blessed you. We hope that you have a great sense of excitement and joy in your spirit, being able to see with your own eyes what Yah is doing in this ministry and in this family that you are very much a part of. And by the way, we want to hear from you tonight. We want to encourage you to go over to the chat and let us know that you're watching and tell us where you're watching from. And if you have any comments about the RV or any questions about the RV or any questions about the vision, we want to try to answer your questions. A number of people have already gone to chat and they've let us know that they are watching. And so we just want to say shalom, shalom to all of these. Vicky in Louisiana, we're glad you're watching. Yalisa in the Netherlands. We're so happy that Yalisa is watching from the Netherlands. David from Ontario, Canada. Welcome, David. Gail from Charlottesville, Virginia. We're glad that you are watching tonight. Organic Chick from Central New York. Welcome. Magnali from Massachusetts. I got to say that right. Also, June from Maryland. Thalia from Northern California. Will from Mercedes, Texas. Anna Lee from Phoenix, Arizona. Kenvi and Donna from Southern Vermont. Darlene from Miami, Florida. Welcome. Ikaika from Oahu, Hawaii. We're glad you're watching. Talmid from Southern Indiana. Janet from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Welcome. Tracy Lynn from Western Pennsylvania. We're glad you're watching. Hermano Roger from Nicaragua is watching tonight. We love you, brother Roger. Get in touch with us. We sure would like to talk with you. Patricia from Pennsylvania, welcome. Betsani from Scotland, I hope I said that right. Holly from California. AC from Central Oregon. Mary from Columbia, South Carolina. Robert from Miami, Florida. Loy from Miami, Florida. Truth Ignited from Ohio. Tom, we're glad you're watching. Love you and your family. Charlie and Deanne from Rockford, Illinois. Francis from New Jersey. Giovanni from Norway. Welcome, Giovanni. We're glad you're watching from Norway. Tammy from Denison, Texas. Lily from El Paso, Texas. and Jaded Topaz from Texas. And then here's a couple more. Colin from Wales, United Kingdom. We're glad that you are watching tonight. And Jules Gacho from the Philippines. So we're really thankful that you're watching all the way from the Philippines. Brandon, why don't you take a moment and let people know how they can be a part of what's going on here with the Vision, and especially encourage people who feel in their heart that they want to be involved in organizing these meetings as we go from state to state.
Definitely. So as you know, we're talking about the vision and our desire to blast the shofar. And so, you know, this is your opportunity where you are in the state that you're located at. If you want to help blow the shofar, to help in bringing that message into your area, into your state, the message that we share here, the message of Yeshua, of teshuvah, of belief, obedience. If you want to play a part in helping this message go forth in your area, in your state, where you're at, we want to team up with you. We want to work with you. And so I want to encourage you to reach out to us by simply sending us an email at info@triumphinTruth.global. And what we are looking for is people who are willing to help us and work with us as we travel around all the states of the United States and as we go into Canada as well. And so, you know, our vision is to hit each state, and we're going to start in the Northwest of the United States first. So we're going to start in Montana and North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. And so that's the area we're going to be hitting first. And we're going to go to each one of these states. We're going to be on for 8 weeks, and then we're going to take some time off, and then we'll be back on for another 8 weeks. And so we're going to go into each state. And so, like we said, you just saw the video showing you the RV that we've purchased. We're looking at getting the audio and the video equipment so we can take this RV and turn it into a preaching machine. Mm-hmm. So when we roll into, as an example, when we roll into Montana, we're rolling into Montana with a preaching machine. And we're going to park that RV in an RV park somewhere, and we're going to preach right there in that RV park the message of Yeshua, the message of repentance, a belief in him, and a belief that produces obedience. And so we're looking for people who will help us. Number one, we need people to help us with information. You know your area. Where's the best RV park where we can roll in and we're going to reach the most people? What are the hot RV parks in your area to where we have the most people at? Also, we're asking for people to help us get the word of mouth out, to spread the word in your community, in your neighborhood, in your state as well. And look, we're not looking for just people who are already walking in Torah. I get this message from people all the time. Well, I don't know anybody. Well, we don't want to just preach the message to everyone who already believes. The idea is to preach the message of repentance. We're trying to bring in those who don't believe. And so invite your Christian friends. Invite your friends who are unbelievers. Altogether, those are the people we want to invite and see coming out to these events and hearing this message. And so this is the opportunity for you to help pull this event together. And if this is something you're interested in playing a part in and being involved in, like I said, email us at info@triumphinTruth.global. We're going to begin the process of reaching out to people, and we will be in contact with you, and we will talk with you on how we can work together and give you more details on, what we're looking for. And don't sit there and just, assume that somebody in your state has already reached out is already helping. We need as many people in your area, in your state, getting involved and playing a part in this. The more people that get involved and help, the bigger and the better that we can do the event. And, maybe the more fruitful the event will be as well, because we're believing that when we roll in there and we preach this message, that we're going to be preaching to people, to a crowd of people.
That's right.
And that we're going to see fruit come forth, that we're going to see fruit come forth from the message, people putting their belief and seeing repentance. We're not doing this in vain.
That's right.
So we're not there to preach to the choir. And, we're not there just to preach in vain either. So we're believing that when we roll into town, that people are going to believe. So step out in faith. If you think, my friends don't want to hear this, step out in faith. Invite them anyway. Invite the people out there. Have a little faith, have a little belief that, hey, when they hear this message, the Spirit is going to move within their hearts and is going to resonate within their hearts. And so that's one of the ways that you can get involved and help us take this ministry and see this vision occur and happen in your area.
And you don't have to have an RV.
No, you don't.
People have asked that. Do we have to have an RV to be able to come to these meetings? No, we're just taking advantage of the RV culture. It's interesting, when we started searching around to purchase an RV, that these dealers who are selling RVs are so busy, Brandon. I'm telling you, they cannot keep an RV on the lot. And I think the reason is because people are wanting to be mobile. These are very difficult times, very questionable times. People are questioning what's going to happen next, what difficulties are coming upon us. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are wanting to get out of the city. They want to get out of the large cities, and so they're purchasing RVs. And so we know that we have also received emails of people saying, can we get an RV and go from place to place with you? And the answer to that is yes. But you don't have to have an RV to participate in these outreaches. We're just using the RV culture as a mechanism to be able to reach a lot of people and to be able to keep our preaching and our outreach on the road.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to go from one place to the next. And so, Brandon, what about people who want to help financially? Is there a way that they can do that?
Yeah. Quick thing, though, also, would be awesome is if you could plan an event in your area so large that we're forced to go outside the RV park.
That's right.
We'll
do whatever we need to do.
We'll do whatever we need to do to get this message to the people where you're at. So if y'all is moving within your heart and you have a desire to say, I want to play a part in this, I want to help this vision come to pass, I want to financially support this vision. So there are a couple ways in which you can give to support the vision. Number one is you can mail us a check to our P.O. box, and they'll put that P.O. box there on the screen, as well as you'll also see it in the comments as well. So if you just mail a check to that P.O. box, if you write on the memo line something like Outreach Vision or the Vision, or you can write it on a Post-it note inside the envelope. That way we know that you want those funds designated towards the vision. The other option we have is you can give online at our website, and that's at triumphantruth.global. And you can give through our app as well by clicking on the Support Us tab. Now, if you give online or through the app, you're going to see there's a drop-down menu there where you can choose the funds. You'll see tithe is a default that selects there. If you just hit that drop-down menu and you can select Outreach Vision, that will let us know that you want those funds designated towards the Outreach Vision. Or you'll see there's a memo line. You can simply write in that memo line, the vision or Outreach Vision, and that way we know you want those funds going towards the vision. And we were so blessed by the fact that so many people have already supported us and given to this. And we know that y'all is just going to continue to move upon the hearts of men, and that the work which he has started, that he's going to bring to a completion. And we're just thankful for all of you out there who made it possible for you to see the RV that you just watched in that video.
You know, what a lot of people are saying about this ministry is that it's more than just a ministry. It really is a family. Brandon, how many times do you read an email where it starts out by saying, Shalom family? Mm-hmm. You know, people feel connected. They feel like this is their family. And many people don't have a local body where they are. And so they're using our home worship video resource to be connected to a family. And, you know, I want to say, while we have people watching, we're encouraging people who are watching our home worship video resource to take time and get their group together and use their phone camera and videotape their group quoting the Shema. Just take the scriptures right off the video that we do every week. You see me doing it every week. Just do it the way I do it. Just tell everybody who you are, where you're watching from, and then lead us in the Shema. And we're going to take your video and we're going to insert it right into our home worship video resource. And your group can lead our entire family around the world in the Shema for that week. And what that will do is allow us to have a greater sense that we're a part of a much larger family and feel really, really connected. And we want to be able to see you on our home worship video resource very soon. And you know, Brandon, a lot of people don't really know that our vision goes beyond just preaching in every state. Now that's a huge part of what we're doing, but we're also using our video technology to put together a social media reality show of what's going on. And we're going to be using our cameras, we're going to be filming what happens on the road, getting it ready, putting it on the road. There's always interesting things that take place. We don't have to write scripts. I mean, life is just interesting. And we're going to put it all down on tape and then we'll process it, put it together like a 25-minute reality show of going from this state to that state and all of the interesting things that happen. I'll give you a quick example. When we went up to Kansas to purchase this RV, it was the first time I had driven an RV. Now, I was raised on a farm in South Texas, and so I was driving large tractors ever since I was about 14 years old. So I had some experience in driving large pieces of equipment, but this was different because this is like driving a massive billboard. You know, it's flat sides and real tall, you know, and the wind hits it. You know, when the wind hits it, it can kind of move you a little bit. Well, I didn't know, but Kansas was dealing with some weather where they had 50-mile-an-hour gusts. And that whole time I was traveling through Kansas and parts of Oklahoma, we would get hit with a 50-mile-an-hour gust, and that gust would move me at least 3 feet. I was constantly having to muscle that wheel to keep that RV on the road the whole time. My son went along with me. He was getting some footage, you know, and I said, Garrison, are you getting footage of this? He said, no, I'm just hanging on. You know, I said, are you afraid? You know, he's like, Dad, because the wind was blowing us around, you know. And what I said to him was, this is the kind of stuff that reality shows are made out of. You know, you don't have to write this stuff. And people are interested in what's going on? What does it take, you know, to be able to do what you do and to get some of the behind the scene things. So we'll do about 20 minutes of reality show. And then the last 5 minutes of each presentation, we're going to put the message, what we're preaching, we're going to put it right into the video. And then we'll let people know where we're going to be the following week. And because we are putting this out on social media, what we'll do is 8 weeks of taping, then we'll take 8 weeks off, we'll produce 8 segments, and then we'll play 1 segment per week for the next 8 weeks, and we'll tell people where we're going to be, you know, what city we're going to be in the next state each week. And I believe that this reality show could be something that would be very interesting and attractive. It has the different elements of travel and what it takes to be able to do what we do, and the challenges that we face every week. And people are interested in those kinds of things. And I believe the crowds will begin to grow as we do that. And so it's a social media reality show that will document everything that we're doing as we are on the road, and we'll give information about where we're going to be in the upcoming weeks. And I believe it will generate a lot of interest, and people will want to be there and see what's going on and hear the message. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. By the way, if you have any questions about the vision or the RV or what we're doing or when all this is going to kick off or how you can help, get on chat and let us know, and we'll try to answer those questions here in just a moment. Brandon, what else do you have on your heart?
You know, talking about other aspects of the vision as well, we talked about the quoting of the Shema, and asking people to record. We have people reach out looking, for fellowship or group where they're at. Well, I just want to, kind of give you an encouragement. We have 7 groups here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that meet in the homes for 8 weeks. And all of our groups in the Dallas-Fort Worth area are watching the home worship video resource. And that resource is available on YouTube as well. So if you're looking for something in your area, I just want to let you know that you are welcome to use that video resource there on YouTube. And all you got to do is simply press the play button to that video, and you have everything you need to have a gathering right there in your home. We quote the Shema, we're blowing the shofar, there's a worship prayer segment, there's the message. So it has everything you need. We even have a segment there to bless the children if you have children within your home. And so that is a resource that you're able to use. And again, it can be something that you can use as a witness to invite your family, your friends. They don't have to be people who are already walking in Torah. Instead of sitting there trying to find everybody who's already walking in Torah in your area, you can use it as a tool and as a light to those in your influence, your sphere, in your world. And so I just want to encourage you with that, that is there for you to use as well. So,
Brandon, when we first received that vision, it was to be able to resource people who are isolated and alone in this walk, because we were hearing that so many of you are alone in this journey where you are. And so we wanted to provide a resource where you could have all of those elements of worship and where you could be connected to a greater family. I really pray that all of you realize that when you're watching that video, you're not watching it alone. That there are, I would say, thousands of people who are worshiping with you and involved in this greater family worldwide.
Yeah.
And so we want you to know you are not alone, you are loved, you are valued, you are appreciated, and we're glad that we can resource you to be able to have a worship resource that would meet your needs. And we love to hear from you. If you're watching and you haven't contacted us, please send us an email at info@triumphantruth.global and let us know that you're watching. So that was the first thing. The second thing that has developed is that people are saying, we want to open up these Shabbat groups in our homes, and we want to use the resource that you're providing. And so we encourage you to do that, as you mentioned, Brandon. We encourage you to do that. People will say, well, I don't have any fellowship. Well, start one. And invite your friends and your neighbors and worship along with that video. And we believe that over time, you'll develop a fellowship right there in your home. And, this ministry is picking up momentum. And what I mean by that is we plan on producing some videos that will help you in starting your group and how to reach out to people and how to love people and those kinds of things. Giving you training. People have asked for training. Can you give us some principles that'll help us in hosting a Shabbat group. And we want to do that. By the way, we haven't talked much about our Triumph and Truth radio, but you talk about an aspect of our ministry that has great potential. Right now, we have a radio channel that plays our messages 24/7. Just when you hear the hallelujah at the end of one, then you hear, are you ready to get into Yah's word? And we play the next one. And if you want to get filled with the word, a lot of people will turn on the radio at their job or around the house and just let it play, and it's just music, music, music. A lot of times it can be, worldly music, or you hear the same bad news message, when you're listening to talk radio and all that. I do listen to talk radio. That's where I get, some of my news sometimes. But a lot of times it's just discouraging stuff, right? Why not put on Triumph and Truth radio and hear those messages? If you want to hear the word just coming, one message after the next, and it just goes on 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, then go to Triumph and Truth on our app. We have a link, don't we, on the app? We certainly do. On the app where you can click on the radio and play the radio. If you haven't downloaded our Triumph and Truth phone app, you can do that. Brandon, you want to tell them how they can download the Triumph and Truth phone app?
Yes. If you have an iPhone, in the App Store, you're going to search for Triumph Family, and you're going to see a black logo background with a white T on there. And in the Google Play Store, you're going to search for Triumph in Truth.
So we want to expand our Triumph and Truth radio as well, and so be looking for that. We're looking forward to that. Let me give you a few of the comments that have come in. Betsy Ann from Scotland says, been watching your videos for a few weeks now. I have learned so much. Blessings from Scotland. Well, we're so glad, Betsy Ann, that you are watching from Scotland, and you would be a tremendous candidate, so to speak, of someone who would watch our home worship video resource and invite your friends and your neighbors in and start a group there in Scotland. We'd love to see that. Charlie and Deanne Johnson, they write, we wish we could connect every Friday together. Well, just pray. Just pray. That's something that we've been thinking about. We are producing the home worship video resource every week to help people who are having Shabbat groups, but we have thought also about a weekly connection, a weekly gathering as well, that it would be a live stream type situation. Holly writes, just found y'all, will be in prayer for you, TNT. Well, thank you, Holly. We're glad you found us, and we're glad that you are praying for us. Thalia writes, wow, I'm so excited for you guys to spread this message. Praise Yah. Well, thank you, Thalia. We're excited as well. Emissary of Elohim writes, hallelujah, here's to spreading the good news. Well, we agree with that. Robert writes, amen, G, we have to blast that shofar. Yes, we agree. Bourne writes, no RV, but we'll be blowing that shofar from 2 Hondas and a Challenger with y'all. Well, that's wonderful. We welcome that as well. Brandon, we need to tell the people about our Israel trip, our Shavuot Israel experience. We asked people if they were interested. We asked them to fill out the form that when they go to the website address is triumphandtruth.travel. And you can go there, and if you'll go there, there'll be a form that'll come up, and you can fill out that form. Well, when we asked the people if they were interested, we have close to 100 people now who are interested. Now, here's the point of prayer. So far, the land of Israel, the government of Israel, they have not given us any indication when they're going to be open. They're not accepting international flights at this time, and the companies who are involved in organizing groups and tours are at this point not saying that they're booking anything, or they're saying that they're not booking anything. And so we need to pray. We need to pray about Shavuot. That will be in May. And so we need to pray about the land being open. And of course, if there's any change to what we have planned, we'll let you know, because we are going. Brandon and his wife want to go, and I don't believe y'all have been there before.
No.
And so we're definitely going to go. And there are others who are on our team who are excited about going. I'm getting a thumbs up over here from Glenn. You guys know Glenn. And others who are excited about going. So we will be going. We just need to pray about the land opening up, and we'll let you know what we find out. All right. Brandon, there's been a lot of censoring going on in the media, in social media, on social media platforms. And, we are a ministry. We're on, I would say, the cutting edge of things, because we're prophetic in a lot of ways. We don't wait until things pass us by. We want to be right on the cutting edge, and as Yah speaks, we want to act. We want to be in His timing, and we don't want to hesitate and miss the mark. We believe that as a ministry, our message is a strong one. It's an uncompromised message, and we do not want to leave ourselves in a position where we can be censored by any social media platform. And so we are currently praying about and doing the research behind having our own servers, or working with a particular group that might be able to house our ministry. But we realize that the days are coming when the truth is going to be censored. And so we want to move forward on being ready, being prepared, having our ministry postured in a way where we cannot be censored. And that very well may mean purchasing our own servers and operating our own servers. We want our messages to go forth unhindered. And as long as the internet is open, then we'll be able to go forward. We want to be able to put our messages on a website, which we're already doing, although we are using YouTube as a platform. So what are your thoughts about that? You are our family. Whenever we have a vision, whenever we have something that is on our heart, we always share it with you. What are your thoughts about Triumph in Truth being prepared for the future and not being allowed to be censored because we waited, we hesitated, and we missed the opportunity to be postured so that our message can ring forth without any hindrance the wonderful truth of Yeshua and His Torah lifestyle. Brandon, what do you think about what I've just presented to the people?
Yeah, I think we definitely need to be prepared. I mean, I think we can definitely see from recent activities that we are living in a time where if you speak out against, what the status quo is, then they have no issue with hitting what they call the mute button on you, I guess.
Yeah.
And so we definitely want to be prepared to have this message going out and continue going out. YouTube has definitely been a great platform for us. I believe it has worked very well for us. Many people have found us through that platform, and it's not like we're saying we're going to run away from it, but we want to be prepared for that time when, they say we're not going to allow you to preach this message, because, hey, we're going to call sin, sin.
Yeah.
And, it's going to get to a point where it's going to offend people.
Yeah.
Because we're calling sin, sin. And so we definitely want to make sure that we can get this message out there, without anything holding it back.
Yeah.
and be prepared.
The great falling away
Yeah.
must come first. And we're already beginning to see that happening, where people who claim to be believers in Jesus, Yeshua, are being shaped by modern culture. We're not called to be shaped by modern culture. We're called to shape modern culture. And there's this great confusion that has swept over a lot of people in religion, modern religion. And they're no longer calling what Abba Yah calls an abomination.
Yeah.
It's becoming accepted, as if the word of Yah changes with generations that pass by.
Yeah.
The scripture says, Yah said, I am Yah, I change not.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeshua Messiah is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so we don't compromise. We do preach the truth in love. We release the power of love, and it's our prayer that you're sensing that as we preach each week, that you're sensing that we don't compromise, but we're also loving people with the truth. And it is making a difference in the lives of people worldwide. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about being prepared so that we're not left in a place where we can be censored in the future? If you have any ideas, if you have any thoughts, then get on chat and let us know. We're going to be closing here in just a moment. So if you have any comments that you'd like for us to share, or if you have any questions, we want to be able to field those questions that you might have about the vision or whatever is on your mind. But we just wanted to introduce that. I spoke about our vision of having our own servers, or not being able to be censored, posturing ourselves so that we won't be censored in the future. I mentioned that a few weeks ago, and I wanted to bring it up again tonight because we like to keep our family, our extended family, informed. All right. Brandon, what else? Anything else on your heart tonight? We're waiting for other comments or questions.
Well, I mean, I guess I would say, it's wonderful to be able to celebrate, the fact that we have the RV.
Yes.
It's wonderful to be able to actually show you the RV tonight as we're moving forward with the vision, and to be able to talk about the things that Yah has put upon our hearts. Because, we really do believe that the Spirit is moving at this time, and
Yes.
is moving upon the hearts of men and women all across the world, and is awakening them out of compromise, out of religion, out of traditions that don't necessarily line up with all of Scripture. I've been amazed at the people who have been emailing us. It started like crazy during Sukkot. The people who were telling us, man, we're celebrating Sukkot for the very first time.
That's right. Many, many.
And it has continued even after Sukkot. I've gotten communication from people, just within the last month or so. And, they just celebrated, Hanukkah for the first time. And,
Right.
And so the Spirit is really moving and awakening the hearts of people. It is getting the bride ready for the return of the bridegroom. And so this message, we believe, is playing a part and a role in that. And we want to continue to blast this message out there. And we want to be able to be a resource to you and to help you. And we're just excited for what the Spirit is doing, what the Father is doing in and through this ministry. And you are a part of that. You are making it possible. And it's awesome to be able to sit here and to just share our hearts and the things that are upon our hearts, and that the Spirit is speaking to us so that you can be a part of it. When we talk about this is because you're family, as we said, family.
Exactly.
You are a part of it. you play a part in this. And what he is speaking to us and what we're doing here, you know, you are free to replicate and do that where you are.
That is so true. A few people have made comments concerning our being prepared not to be censored in the future. RL writes, Torah observers get censored very often. Anna Lee writes, yes, hallelujah, the truth is already being censored. Thalia writes, I would love that if you guys had your own platform. And Ryan writes, Joseph prepared for a famine. He certainly did. So thank you for those comments. Also, Loy is saying, always praying for my TNT family. Thank you, Loy. 2020 was the year a lot happened and Yah called and I heard and obeyed, and TNT had a lot to do with it. Love y'all. Thank you, Loy. Ikaika from Hawaii says here, I have a growing group here in Hawaii. Well, we're really excited about that. We're glad your group is growing. Emissary of Elohim writes, but your tire did not slip. You're right, my tire did not slip. He's talking about when the 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts hit our RV. He who watches over you does not sleep nor slumber. We agree, that's a blessing. Thank you very much for that, emissary of Elohim. Kimberly said, I love Triumph and Truth. You feel like family. Well, Kimberly, we are so glad you're part of our extended family. Makeba writes, good night, everyone. First time here, blessings to all. We're glad you joined us for the very first time. Charlie and Deanne, we listen every night to your radio. That's wonderful. We're glad for that, Charlie and Deanne. Share it with other people. Let them know that it's there. Some people don't know it's there.
Yeah.
It is on the website and it is on the phone app. Anna Lee says the phone app is fantastic. Well, that's great. The person who has really played a large role in that phone app is here, and she will be very, very happy that you are saying that. By the way, my grandson is here with us tonight. Just had to throw that in. My new grandson. Yelisa says, next feast is Passover, ? The next Leviticus 23 feast is Passover, absolutely. And we'll be letting you know what we're going to be doing for Passover in the near future. Lily writes, where can I go to get baptized? Well, it just depends on where you are. We don't know from this question where you are, but if you send us an email at Triumph and Truth, info@triumphandtruth.global, we'll see if we can help you with that. Charlie and Deanne also say, could DVDs be made for purchase of your teachings? Well, put that in an email and we'll respond to you on that. I know that there are still people who like to give DVDs, Brandon. As much as we're making these teachings available free on all these platforms, there's still a lot of people who like to hand somebody a DVD and say, watch it. The question is, do you have a DVD player? I think, some people don't have DVD players anymore, but some people still do.
I think in terms of censorship too, though, if you get pulled off the internet, if you have DVDs, they can't take that from you.
That's a smart thing right there for sure. All right, do we have any other? Okay, well, we are so glad that you have joined us tonight for this special live stream reveal. We wanted you to see again what your prayers have produced, what your belief, what your obedience, what your giving has produced, and to give you a sense that you are a part of something really special and something very powerful, something that started in the heart of Elohim and is now being manifested in the earth. You are seeing what we have been talking about, what we've been speaking about, and what we've been praying about actually come to pass. Now, when we get the resources necessary for the audio and the video equipment, we will have another video, another live stream like this. and let you know about the audio and the video equipment and the staging. And what we'll probably do, Brandon, in the near future is we'll set the RV up outside, and we'll set it up just like we're going to be preaching, and we'll probably do a little preaching, and we'll do a live stream and let everybody see what it's going to look like. So we're glad that you've joined us. We do feel like you are family. We want you to know we love you. And we're so thankful that you are a part of this family. Why don't we just take a moment? Why don't you throw your hands up and just begin to bless Yah as I speak these words of blessing over you. Yah bless you and surround you with a hedge of protection. Yah illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order and giving you comfort and sustenance. Yah lift up his wholeness of being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete in the matchless name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen and amen. Bless you. We love you. We'll see you next time.